Hello, my awesome fourth grade artist. Today we're starting a new project. We're going to be creating these great wave oil pastel drawings, and we're going to be learning about an artist named Katsushika Hokusai. So before you start this lesson, teachers, look in your lesson plans and show the YouTube video, The Great Wave by Melissa Ackley. It's a fictional story. It's a made-up story about a little Japanese boy. It's set in Japan. But it does have the piece of artwork that we're going to be talking about. We're talking about this piece of artwork called The Great Wave off Kanazawa by Hokusai. And Hokusai was an artist. He's probably Japan's most famous painter and woodcutter. He was born in Edo, Japan, which is now called Tokyo. Let me show you on a map. Remember, we live here in the United States, and this is Japan. It's on the continent of Asia, but it's an island to itself. It's surrounded by water, by the Pacific Ocean, and Tokyo is a little city right here. And so that's where Hokusai was born, and it's right on the water, so he was very influenced by the water, and it's in lots of his woodcuts. And so this is a woodcut. It's not a painting. And what a woodcut is an artist will take a block of wood and they carve a design into it. So Hokusai used carving tools and carved out all of the lines you see here. This one was one of a series of prints, so he made a whole group of these, and they were called 36 Views of Mount Fuji. This is Mount Fuji. It's the tallest mountain in Japan. And so this is one of the views where the waves coming in and you can see the mountain. So after they carve their design, the artist will paint ink all over it, and then they will put a piece of paper on top of the wood, press it very hard, lift it up, and the print will be on the piece of paper. When they use more than one color, they have to do it one color at a time. So they may have to do everything with all of the white, everything that's going to be white, lift it up, then they'll add their blue ink, put the paper back, and it takes several processes. So it's a really neat form of art. It's a really intricate form of art, and this is one of my favorite pieces of art. You see, I even am wearing my Great Wave watch band today. I really like that. So anyway, we're going to start. We're going to be making ours today. This is the one that I made. I'm going to be doing another sample, and we're going to create it on something called roofing paper. This is roofing paper. This is what roofers, people who put roofs on houses, they will put this down first. It's waterproof, and then they put the shingles on top of it. So it's kind of got a neat texture. This is called the tooth of a paper. It's not like a real tooth like we think of, but it's how it feels, and it's got a little bit of graininess to it that will pick up that oil pastel really well. So what we're going to do, though, is create a deckled edge. I really love a deckled edge, and we've never done this before. So a deckled edge is like a torn edge on a piece of paper, and I'm going to show you how to do that without just completely tearing your paper apart. Okay, so everybody's going to get one of these, and you're going to fold down each side just a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't want to tear off too much. And then find something in your classroom. It can be like a pair of scissors. It could be a ruler. Something that's stiff enough to press down like I just did and get a really good crease. And then you're just going to go back and tear it. See, I'm holding with one hand really close and just pulling a little bit at a time so I don't tear it up really bad. Creates a really pretty torn edge. Do the next side. Just fold it just a little bit down. Press. Really, the reason we're pressing with something is because this paper is really thick. It's not like construction paper. It's thicker than that, and you have to really press down to get a good crease in it. The crease helps your fold. And see, mine's not perfect, and that's okay. That's really gives it texture. It makes it look different, and that's how about a deckled edge. Deckled edges are not perfect. We are not going to put the name label on this because you're going to eventually, after you're finished with this, you're going to be attaching it to a piece of construction paper where your name label will go. So teachers, if you will just have the students use a white or light colored pencil and write their names on the back of this, that will help you know whose it is while we're working on them. almost finished here, and we can start the next process, drawing the great wave. Okay, so now that you have your paper, you need to turn it so it's horizontal. The long side that goes across is going across. The longest side is going across is what I'm trying to say. This is horizontal. Your design will fit best on this. All right, so I wanted to show you mine again. So you're going to be creating your waves. I'm going to show you how to draw them. They have a white top at the part at the top. That's the white cap, the frothiness. You've probably seen this when waves are coming in. And then you're going to have stripes of different colors on there. So we're also going to put a sun in the background. It's going to be up to you how you do that. So I made a sun where I drew half a circle and then I made rays coming off of it. But I'm going to also do one where I make some concentric circles to make a sun. So I'm going to let you kind of be creative and decide how you want to do that, because I don't want these to all look the same. This is your individual art and it should look how you want it to look. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first wave at the bottom. Remember, this is Hokusai's picture here, his piece of art, the great wave, and you see all those frothy places where the white caps are. And we're going to start by drawing something like that, but a lot simpler. Okay, so the first I'm going to draw a white cap. I'm going to kind of come up from the bottom. And I'm going to make kind of curvy, kind of cloud-like shapes that go off to the edge of the paper. And then I'm going to make my waves, the wave that comes underneath that white cap. And actually, a light colored pencil draws really well on this also. And I'm just going to make these lines that kind of curve around. They run off the paper so you wouldn't see the end. They just flow through there. Then I'm going to make the greater wave that's kind of coming up over this baby wave. So it's bigger. And I'm going to make some more curves on it. And then I'm going to make the wave part that comes down and it kind of goes back into the ocean. And then more of these, like I guess you would call them stripes of the different waves, the different colors of the wave. Then there's the sun part. So remember, I did a half circle and rays that came out, but this time I'm going to do concentric circles. This is what concentric circles are. I start by drawing a circle, and then I make more circles around it. So they're like inside of each other. You really need to fill your background with the rays of the sun. So you decide how you're going to do that. And then this would just go off because this part of the sun would be off the page. Okay, so that's that. That's my simple drawing with my white colored pencil. So next I'm going to start adding color with the oil pastels. And we're using these Junior Artist Craypot oil pastels because there's lots of shades. And typically, we've done lots of oil pastels before. Typically, I will encourage you to layer them. But for this particular one, just one shade per shape is all that's really necessary. It goes on so well. So I'm going to start with the sun. And so the sun, obviously, I'm going to be using warm colors because the sun is warm. And then for the waves, those are going to be our cool colors. So I'm going to go in and just start using some different warm colors for the sun. I outline and then I color. But I'm going to try to leave the white colored pencil showing because later you're going to outline that with black. So leave just a little gap. I'm going to go around, kind of leaving that showing. Leaving your white colored pencil showing, just coloring kind of right up to it with all different warm colors. Like I said, it helps if you will outline first. And then color. When you're coloring, try to go in the same direction so it looks neat. That's important. Try to apply the same amount of pressure. You don't really have to press down really hard on this paper. It just takes to it so well. So you would finish coloring your sun in different warm colors, and you have a ton of warm colors to pick from. Then you would start on your waves once you finish the sun. So Like I said, this top part of the wave is called a white cap. And sometimes your white oil pastel will get other pastels on it. You can just wipe it off with a paper towel. But I'm just going to color this in solid white. I'm going to outline first, trying to leave my little bit of white colored pencil showing. You'll still see some of the graininess of the black oil pastel coming through, and that's okay. That's what makes this look so unique. Looks pretty. And then I'll start adding all my different wave colors. So we said we were going to use cool colors, so you may want to kind of pull out all of your cool colors that you want to use, all your different shades of blue, and you just start coloring in those stripes, I guess you could call them, for your waves. I like to outline first, then color, and try to make the ones that are touching, make them each a different shade of blue, and they will really stand out and look pretty. Again, I'm leaving that little gap where my white oil pastel, if you are not my white oil pastel, but my white colored pencil, if you color over it, it's okay. You can still go back with a black later, but it'll kind of help you see your places if you don't color right up to it. And then one more, I'm going to use this darker blue, I think. And I just love how all of those shades of blue look next to each other. Look really, really pretty. They show up so well on this roofing paper. Coloring again in the same direction is important when we're coloring anything. Okay, so once you get your entire piece colored, then you're going to take a black oil pastel, and everywhere you have a colored pencil line, you're going to trace it. So I'm going to, when I'm doing this, I want the black to be really dark and rich, so I'm kind of coloring as I do it to get a good, thick black line. See how I'm going back and forth like I'm coloring? And that's going to really create contrast so your colors look even more alive. They pop is what I like to say. They look vibrant. So you'll just do that everywhere you originally drew a line. So let me go back and show you my piece that I had finished. You see all of my pieces are out, all of my lines are outlined with the dark black. And then you will already have some of these pre-cut pieces of construction paper. Teachers, use your hot glue gun. Let the students pick what color they want for their paper, and that's what you can put your name label on the back. Another thing that you can do when you're finished is put one of these artist statements up. You can either write it on your board, or you can put it on your Elmo for the kids to see, and have them answer these questions. So they get a little bit of writing in about their artwork, gets them thinking and reflecting on what they did. Students, take your time, do a good job. I'll put these on Artsonia, and then if you really work hard and do a good job, you may even get a piece of the art show. And I will see you next time. Bye.